Hey guys, Call Sign Heavy here. I'm going to do a special multi-part video about for you new airsofters and airsoft parents. Give you a little experience from me. I've been playing for 20 years, and I also am an airsoft parent. So I'm going to share some of that knowledge with you, and that way hopefully you can make some cool decisions. So first off, are you or your child responsible enough to play? Well, first thing, they got to be able to treat their replica as a real firearm. Of the basics, where to point the weapon, not to look down the barrel, not to shoot animals, and all that cool stuff they tell you not to do. And then there's instructions when you buy a gun. I can go on for a little bit more, but hopefully you are responsible enough as a parent to make this decision, which I imagine you are. So, next, can they take a hit? If they can't take a hit from a Nerf, they ain't going to take one from airsoft gun. Now, granted, it does not hurt as much as a paintball, but it does sting a little bit. It's nothing for mom to freak out about. As long as the child is protected properly, they should not have any problem. Because, I mean, it can take an eye and it can take teeth. But the child goes to a real airsoft field, has to wear full face protection. Which goes back to, not do backyard games. Don't go to Walmart and buy some guns, even springers, and let your kids play in a backyard or a field, on that matter. If they're new to the sport, go to where there's staff that can help and good equipment, and other players usually, at least everywhere I've experienced in the community, will usually help anyone that's looking for help. Including the parents. You can go out there and ask questions usually you will get answers. If you are a real steel parent, I recommend you to go ahead and rent and go out. You're probably going to have a good time. Fundamentals and everything are the same. All right, next, real quick. Don't let your kid talk you into sniper and crazy guns they see on YouTube, because honestly, that's just like real steel is. It takes talent. It takes a skill set to learn. And it's not, you're going to be wasting a whole bunch of money on stuff they're not going to end up doing. So stick with M4 or AK platforms. Get you a good mid-tier gun, in my suggestion, if you actually want to play. Don't buy, I'm not against these brands, but Tippmann and Lancer, just not really in my favorite. Tend to break pretty quickly. They are budget friendly, but there's brands like G&G that are budget friendly that sell tried and true guns. Another one that my son actually just upgraded to is Specna brand, which is an EVIC brand, which has really high grade internals and lower grade body, which, we can go on reasons why that's can be awesome later. But yeah, I would do your research. Buy from either a good airsoft store or your shop if they have decent brands. And if not, you can go online and buy from an actual retailer that specifies in airsoft, like evic.com, or some people call it evike. Also, you have Mir Tactical, which is MIR Tactical. You have Amped Airsoft and PA, Atlanta Airsoft, and there's a couple other larger stores that are in around the country, and also have online. So check them out, especially if you live close. Then you can go touch something and get the feel. Because another problem, when he was 9, he couldn't hold a gun, a real M4. I had to get him a stockless M4, which actually put him in the mid-tier gun anyway. So that's another problem you might run into. The other one is figuring out if you're going to be indoor or outdoor or both, because your kid might want a shotgun, which is fun, but not very practical. It's more of a fun, I mean, it is practical, but in airsoft, it's kind of another skill set weapon as well, in my opinion. So if you go indoor, you're going to have lower FPS. If you go outside, you can have higher FPS. So that is something that we also will talk in another video with weapons. But you will determine that with the help with your field more than likely that you go to. They should be, I imagine, experienced enough to help you with making that decision. And so after that, then you have to get safety gear, especially with the younger ones. They tend to not like getting hit a lot, so you can get plate carriers and all that. And back when my son was young, there was like nothing. Very few brands made anything, but now you can get on Amazon and find fatigues in use sizes, and gloves in use sizes, helmets in use sizes, like this. You can get a bump helmet on Amazon or their Airsoft retailers. But youngins have to have full face protection, so usually prefer mask. Then you get your safety grade lenses with it, and as long as they are basically what is that, Z87 shooting glasses wise, not glasses, but you know, so they can take a strike, safety grade lens. Don't get cheap stuff, because you're talking about your safety there, because that is the main problem, is losing. I've seen people lose teeth. I've heard of people losing eyesight from Airsoft. So this is the part, as a little one, you want to keep safe, and the half is mandatory every field under 18 anyways. And when they get as an adult, they can choose not to wear Face Pro if they'd like to. Tons of options out there. There's mesh masks and all that. You know, you might have fogging issues, which is very typical with the lower end mask. And you can, I will tell you, go ahead and get on Amazon or something, get some anti-fog wipes or spray or something, or go ahead and get an X-Fog system, which you can find them on Facebook, and just about every retailer has them that does X-Fog, and even some fields sell them. These are super simple, run some tube, like mine runs through my helmet, but you just kind of stick it in your mask and you turn it on, and there's a little fan in here, and really good, a little dependable rechargeable system. It does cost a little bit money, but there's nothing worse than seeing little ones out there with a paintball mask rental from a field, and it's fogging up and they're pulling their Face Pro off in the middle of a firefight. So it might be something you might want to invest in, or at least good anti-fog, or buying an upgrade like a dye mask or something like that, which is super expensive, but a thermal style lens, which we will talk about in another video as well, but easy to research while you're shopping. So I mean, anti-fog thermal lens you can look for, or buying an X-Fog system, which all this other stuff that says has fans in it, I have not heard good things. I've never personally owned myself. So I just went ahead and bought my son an X-Fog when he started. They were out then, and plus I did the wipes on top of that, and he generally does not have problems. Other thing is, yeah, your kids can go out in sweatshirts and stuff. And I still see it. I don't understand why in the summer, because that's just a heat CAD ready to happen. Even with hydration, wearing winter clothing is probably not very good in the summer. But so I would recommend just going ahead and you can buy an athletic shirt, or you know, you can get on Amazon, like find combat shirts, like these. They make BDU blouses, a little bit cooler, but also long sleeve. Get you some gloves, because getting hit in the hand sucks. So gloves, I would say, is a must. And then the next most important thing is a dead rag. Please get a dead rag and use it. When you get hit, you know, hold it up, stick it on you, put it on your head. You know, depending on the rules, bleed out, walk out, get medicked, whatever. But do this, or you're going to keep getting shot. And sometimes you do anyways because they don't see it. But it's really annoying, even with experienced players don't even have these things, and it's so simple. And, I mean, it's usually basic rules. Another thing is to, you're going to have to get a battery and a battery charger usually. You can buy batteries and chargers together. There's 3 different batteries in the airsoft world right now. NICAD, which is NICD, which is what I started with, which is 8.4 and 9.6 volt. Sorry, it's been a while. Batteries, they come in all different sizes, and they were a lot more durable than a LiPo battery, which is LiPo. LiPos you get better performance out of, but can actually explode while charging or in use, believe it or not. And they only explode if they're mistreated with charging practices, which I highly, if you end up getting a LiPo system, it's great. Just really look into it before and know what you're doing before you just do it. And please, parents, do it for your children, because if you're doing it wrong, they can catch on fire. They sell little bags, safety bags like this. Sometimes they come with chargers, sometimes they don't. Really inexpensive to get off Amazon. I highly recommend it, because that one time you can burn down your house over a battery. So you can get that. Make sure if you are running a LiPo battery, make sure you charge it for your child or yourself when you're done playing, because otherwise you're going to lose your battery. So if you have a cheap charger where it just plugs in the wall, go ahead and plug it in, charge it when you're done to full. If you have a smart charger, then you're going to the next tier of stuff, but you can put it on a storage charge, which is actually healthier for a battery, but we'll get into that to another time. So now you have your gun, you have a place to go, you have your dead rag, your face pro, maybe some clothing, maybe a tactical vest, which also can get off Amazon. I would recommend buying an extra magazine as a new player, and your new gun, even your advanced guns, usually come with what's called a high cap mag. And they hold usually up to 300 BBs. They load in there like that. And as you play, you have to wind them. And that's winding forward. And that keeps loading them through the magazine. They are noisy when they're full, but as a new player, transferring mags, it's definitely, that's a skill set that's learned, fundamental with firearms. Even if you are somewhat experienced with shooting, I still recommend this until you get more into the sport and as you progress, which we'll talk about later. But get you an extra high cap mag and something to hold it in. Again, Amazon's probably your best spot. Get something that you can put on your belt, and that way, you don't really need a plate carrier for one mag. I mean, you can get a plate carrier and get something to hold it, but going so hardcore, going over geared, is just not worth it. You got to figure out what's comfortable for you and what works for your playing style, instead of just buying all this gear, and which we'll go over in another video, because I'll tell you, I've done that and I bought crap gear, so we'll go over that in another video. But get you another mag and some way to hold it. Don't put it in your pockets, because you're going to lose it and you're going to be buying another mag. Trying to find a mag in the middle of nowhere in the woods sucks, and somehow I've done it. I've even had a car key found once before in the middle of nowhere, and that's really bad. So make sure you leave all that stuff back at the staging area or in something that zips. But that's pretty much all you need basically to start. I don't recommend you renting every time. It gets expensive, but sometimes that's what you got to do. But with the sales coming up, I'm telling you, parents, don't buy sniper rifles, don't buy shotguns, and if they're just starting out, don't get them a pistol yet either, because, I mean, honestly, I drop to it as fundamentals, but not that often even, unless I'm carrying a big gun, like a support weapon or DMR, sniper, or a weapon where it's long barreled and I go in indoors, I'll drop to my sidearm just to be in close quarters. And new players, you're not going to have to worry about that. I know it's cool when you see YouTube videos do it, but there's no point. That's something you learn. You got to learn how to drop. You need a sling, because you can't just put your gun on the ground. You got to learn how to draw and use it right. Again, we'll talk about another video. But for now, you just need a rifle, need a mag, need a battery. Don't worry about HPA or gas guns yet. That's above your skill set right now. Just doing basics. Get you a nice AEG. Mid-level, get you an extra high cap. Your Face Pro, some fatigues, or at least something comfortable to wear that's long pants, comfortable shoes. Go have fun, learn, and you'll figure out what you like, and then you can progress in the sport and just have fun. There's no reason to go spend a fortune on your first time out in Airsoft, because if you do, you're going to end up replacing it anyways. That's why I have all this stuff. It ain't because I wanted to make YouTube videos. It's just because I bought a lot of stuff over the last 20 years. So, you'll end up learning all this as you go. But for right now, that's the basics you need to know. And go out and have fun. Remember, stay safe, everyone. And hope to see you progress in the Airsoft field when I'm out playing. So, we'll see you guys later. We'll talk about some more advanced stuff coming up soon.